Okay. Hello, 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 everybody. I need to move you guys over here. And you guys can stay right here because I'm filming on two cameras today. So we're going to try to do both. And oh, I didn't even because sometimes I don't check everything. I didn't check if you're following me on the computer camera, I didn't check my overhead. And if you're following me over here on the phone camera, I'm just going to flip you guys so you can see. So, welcome to the tutorial. Finally, I'm getting on here live and getting in the studio. Whew. It's basically, today was the last day of my art classes at the park. My summer contracting with the library, which is also the art classes at the park, and in the library. So today was basically the last day, I think. I think. I'm not 100% sure because I didn't get the email from the planner for it. I got it from the staffing that was there. Um, but I'm going to guess she knows what her schedule is. So I'm getting ready to move you guys. Hold on. Ready? Here we go. You're gonna go for a ride. Yeah, all the way over here. So funny. So I'm putting you guys over here so I can, for one, have more space on the desk, and for two, I can kind of look in the same vicinity for all of you. So, um, I was on here last night talking about the desk and the setup and everything. Hello, thanks for tuning in, you guys. Um, I haven't had time to work any further on that. So if you saw last night's video, you will know. But tonight we're doing this. We're doing some printmaking. If you don't know what printmaking is, basically think back in the day where they had the printing press and they had to make basically it was a board that had all kinds of letters in it, and it was done. I actually have I don't think that I can actually show you guys. Maybe I can. I don't know. I actually have an old, I can't show it to you because it's too big. Letter type tray from back in the day. I keep a lot of my tiny little things organized. It slips right underneath the top of the tabletop here. So basically, they would have letters, put them in, and then roll them with ink, and then print newspapers. So nowadays you don't see that too much because that's not really how newspapers are made anymore. There are some artisans that do still use printing press like that. I am not one of them because I don't do that. And then nowadays we also have a lot of e-newsletters and we get our news from our phone and and such. But you know, when the paper boy used to run around, extra, extra, read all about it, they were made with printing press, which is also a type of printmaking. So these are some that were made this week. Some are just random, willy-nilly kind of designs, but they're like what you would call an abstract. Um, and I'm going to show you guys how to make that. This is a simple one I did today, which was really cute at the class. So basically, this one became this in print. So you guys can see that. So, so yeah. So I am coming to you guys. I'm live on two different devices. Hello, hello. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. Um, yeah, so I am doing well. I'm just trying to figure out some stuff like in last night's video about because I've had a lot of pain in my arm, and it's probably because of my desk setup. It is what it is. So we're gonna do that. I'm doing okay. So I'm going to show you guys how to make your own stamp per se, or your printing table, or template, however you want to call this. I'm going to show you guys. It's pretty easy to make it. Um, as you can see, it's made from cardboard. So this is a really good upcycling type of project. Um, I'm going to be using these little foam pieces, and you can get foam pretty much at any craft store. Um, and I bought these actually I just noticed if you guys are if you guys are watching on the screen, that is on the computer, I am having a pretty good day. If you you guys are here on the phone, and you're watching it over there on the other live, I just realized I have green screen enabled on my camera. I need to fix that because you guys don't want that. Uh-oh. I'm gonna turn the camera off over there for 1 second because it's going crazy. So I'm still here with you guys on the phone. The ones that are getting it from the computer are not seeing this right now. So it's been a pretty good day. It's so hot that when I got finished teaching class today, I was just like done. I had to oh, I'm back. Um Now y'all can see the screen. Um I had to like take a break, and I actually drank a cup of tea because they say, and I'm not sure if it really is true, but if you drink a hot cup of tea when you're hot, you'll you'll feel cooler. I don't know that I can say that that's true, because for one, when I drink hot tea, it's just too hot. I wait till it cools down. So anyway, so I had that, and then we got ready and we went out shopping. I'll tell you guys about that. We've been working on our house. If you haven't been following along, or you're new here, there's so much going on in my world that it's a little crazy. So with that being said, let's get into this video. 50, oh my goodness. Are you kidding? I know it was like 40 something, but 50? No way. That is absolutely hot. Yeah, that is way hotter than it is here. This actually never gets like 50 here in Celsius. If you guys aren't following, Gustavo is letting me. Yeah, I bet. So I was actually in Europe month and a half ago. We were in the Netherlands, Belgium, and France. And we actually had pretty good weather there. In fact, there was one day that was kind of cool that the place where we're staying in France, at breakfast, he actually brought us a um, like a heater, a little fireplace. Oh, you're in Malta? Okay. Wow. You're melting in Malta. Oh my goodness. That is nuts. 50 degrees Celsius is hot. You guys here in America, look it up. Maybe I can look it up for you for just a second. Um, Let me see if I can pull it up. So you guys here in America, If it is 50 degrees Celsius, you guys, that's 122 degrees Fahrenheit. So they're not kidding in Europe right now. It is hot. And that's just nuts. I do you have airco? Gustavo, do you have an air conditioner? I know a lot of people in Europe don't even have air conditioning. And here we're in South Florida, so it's kind of a normal thing here because it's just normal, but it's not normal. It's especially not normal to be 50 degrees Celsius at all for anywhere. I mean, that's just unheard of. I can't wait to tell my husband that. We are planning to go back to Europe. Um, I mean, we go to Europe once a year. So, oh yeah. Oh, good. I'm happy you have AC. My father-in-law only has a small portable AC in his living room. So my husband is from the Netherlands and they've been super hot there too, but not at 50. That's crazy. So, goodness. Anyway, that's nuts. I wouldn't be able to sleep without it. I was actually hot there when we were there. We were there in yeah, during the day. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's dangerous heat. So I don't recommend. Oh my gosh. Don't tell me that. Oh wow. That's so sad. Like the animals, I mean, people, yes, but just the animals, they have nowhere to go when it's that hot and they're going to just be falling. They're going to be dying. That's that's craziness. I wonder, like when we were in France had a well, everybody I think have had these major heat waves through Europe. I think the hottest heat waves of all time are happening in Europe currently. Yeah. Sorry guys for that. So, but on a lighter note, let's make some art. I know Gustavo's probably ready to go to bed. It's late. Or did you just get up? What time is it there? It's pretty late. You can't believe you're still up. Are you a night owl? Yeah, it's 10:10 p.m. I was supposed to be on here at 9 o'clock. Yeah, that's good. When it's hot, we do that too. We have water. It's 3 a.m. there. So it says pretty late there. We also have water and hiding places for the animals, and we have a lot of tree coverage and plants that the animals get refuge from the sun here in. Yeah. So I put out water for the birds and bees. So it's really important to do that, especially, what are they going to do? They can't really do anything, really. They're animals, and if somebody doesn't help them, you know. Okay, enough about that. Yeah, it made me cry because the birds are falling out of the sky in Europe. Oh my God. My favorite birds there are the magpies. Oh my gosh. Yeah, everybody should help them. It's important. They play a big part, all creatures play a big part in the ecosystem. Even though we don't like mosquitoes here, I mean, I don't think anybody likes mosquitoes, but they actually have a purpose. You don't think that they have a purpose, but they do. So even mosquitoes. Yeah. So, okay, let me get into this art project. Now my eyes are watery because I'm thinking about the animals. Oh my God. Oh, Gustavo, you're killing me. You got me thinking about all the creatures up there. So I'm gonna flip the cameras around. Just give me a second. Sorry. Sorry, but why are they up? That's actually some friends of ours in France. They're up too. Why aren't they watching this? Yeah, no one likes mosquitoes, right? But around here, the mosquitoes are one of the insects that pollinate mango trees. And our area where we live is known for mango trees. So much so we have a huge mango sculpture when you drive into our neighborhood. It's kind of crazy, actually. Um, Another fun fact is I kind of designed that sculpture, but it was a little crazy because we had we'll talk and such, but yeah, we had a neighborhood meeting, and they were talking about this sculpture that was going in our neighborhood at the front end of the main road that goes through our neighborhood, and they had artists hired from out of state. So this is the craziness. They hired artists from out of state to commission this artwork, but then they asked for the community involvement in the sculpture and wanted people to sketch their ideas and what they would like to see and maybe even picking colors and all that. Well, let's just say the sculptures, two gigantic sculptures that probably cost, I would say they were at least $20,000, maybe. But those two sculpture designs, they're the exact same design. That was my drawing. Did I get paid for that? No. Yeah. So that wasn't part of the thing. So they took all the designs and ideas from the community, and basically it was my design. So I should have wrote my name on it, made a copy of it, took pictures of it. Maybe I did. Maybe they owe me money. Anyway, we do public art as well. My husband and I are both full-time artists. I keep kicking the keyboard. I had to move it over. And so doing art is what we do. So that's what we're going to do tonight. And happy you guys are sticking with me. system. Okay, we're back on sound on. So I am running both microphones tonight as well. I have a microphone on you guys here on the phone and a separate microphone for you guys on the actual computer. So I'm just trying to get some cable management in here and move this cable. It just drives me nuts. I got to figure that out too. There's so many things. So it's a good thing. I'm kind of on vacation, but I'm not really on vacation. I already had vacation. I'm just sorry, you guys. It's out of control. Okay, maybe that's a little bit better. Maybe. So yeah, I'm taking a little bit of a break from teaching. I will still be on here as I am every day live here on YouTube. So don't worry, we're still making art and doing stuff here live on the YouTube channel. So yay. All right, let me get my boundaries here. And I'm going to try to also pull up the chat so I can see the chat during the live from the phone because right now I can't really see what you are typing that are on the phone. Um, Hold on. I promise we're gonna do some art. I promise. I promise. I'm gonna pull up this one and yeah, let me just do some adjustments here and we'll get this party started. I'm gonna pop out this chat and then we're gonna open in another one. So trying to do a dual set of videos for you guys has been a learning curve. But I think I figured it out. So it's been a bit since I had to be so techy. Okay, Gustavo, I'll see you next time for sure. Good night if you're not already gone. I hope you have a good night and yeah, it's pretty late there. And please stay inside because it's too hot. It's just way too hot over there. All right, so now I have both my chat windows on both devices up. So if you want to chat with me, I will see them. So yeah, so welcome everybody. Yeah, they stole my idea. I'm reading Gustavo's things. Yes, they did kind of steal it, but it was like I gave my input on that sculpture and they chose to use mine. So it is what it is. It's fine. So these are the tools and the supplies that you need for this project, everybody. We are going to have a pair of scissors. You're going to have a pencil, and it's not for drawing. I'll show you that in a second. You need some cardboard. Um, you can use also foam pieces, which are like this. And they're just basically little foam pieces. You don't have to have a lot of them. Or you can actually cut the cardboard into shapes and use that as your pieces, okay? So, like I was showing earlier, this here is one that I made. Obviously, you might recognize what this is here. So, if you know, you know. I am a Disney girl living in a Disney world. Not literally living in Disney World, but that would be nice. Anyway, So I also have a piece of paper, which is what I'm going to use for my paint, and I have some cardstock. Now, what I was doing with the kids this week was they got to print whatever they wanted, whatever they were making, and they got to choose whether they wanted to print it flat on a regular piece of paper or on heavier weight cardstock and make greeting cards. Is a great thing to make with this project. Now, I'm just saying that I was thinking about Christmas in July and they can make Christmas cards, but they just really, I let them free play with everything and make their own designs. One of the cutest ones that was made and very clever and creative was a little girl that was making a birthday card for her best friend. And I just thought that was the sweetest thing. And it turned out really, really cute. I'm going to try to put it in the official thumbnail of the video. I'll put her card up um, because she really put a lot of energy in it and it just was really great. So back to the supplies. You need cardboard, foam cutouts or more cardboard, scissors to cut it out, glue. This is just regular, stick your hand in it, regular glue, paper towels because you might want to clean your hands. A brayer, you can use this. This is basically a roller for the ink, or in our case, we are going to be using tempera paints, which are here. And I do tempera paints with the kiddos for these classes just because it's a washable paint, supposedly. Washable paint. So that's basically everything you need. I'm trying to think of, is there anything else we need for this project? I don't think so. So, paper towels, of course. And when you get ready to do all of your pieces, I'll show you the paper towels are here not only to just wipe off your fingers, you can use wet wipes as well, but also to um, clean the brayer. Now, if you do not have a brayer like this, it's like a little rolling brush, just like when you're painting your walls with a paint roller. This is designed for ink. Um, and in this case, to clean this, you'll just run it over paper towels and it will take the ink off. This is a rubber roller wheel that's on here. So it doesn't stick on there too crazy. I see there's still some paint in here. I haven't actually cleaned all my rollers since this project started. I cleaned some of them today, but then the kids messed up and did stuff this day too. So anyway, so we're going to put this to the side. We're going to put our paint to the side and such. The first thing we're going to work on is putting all of our pieces together on the actual cardstock or the cardboard. So if you had only had cardboard, you would do the same process to make your shapes with cardboard. Okay. So we're going to start off with figure out a fun design. Now you can just get crazy with this or just make your own idea of a design up. Um, and it can be as abstract as you want, or maybe you want to do something more intentional and place things in different ways. But I am going to go for a little bit of an abstract piece and try to work this in if I can. I guess maybe I'm going to turn this one this way. And I like to have the gaps in between about a quarter of an inch away from each other on there. Hope you guys can see everything okay. I think you guys can. So I'm not going to take the cameras down any closer to this. I will bring things up to the cameras and show you guys because I am trying to work on. Currently, there are 3 cameras pointing this way. So Once you have decided on the design that you want and how you want it, you're going to glue it down. Now, you can use a popsicle stick for this or a little small stick to glue it down. But I found that just using the tools that you have with you all the time, which are your magic fingers right here, are the best way. So if you dab your finger in the glue, it doesn't take a lot, just a touch of glue. You're going to take off piece by piece, pick one up, tap the glue on the back. You're just tapping in the glue, and you don't need a whole lot of glue. It's just a little bit so it will stick. And then place your piece down. So once you have it in there, give it a good little push, a little smash on there. And do that for all the pieces that you have designed on your piece, on your printing press or your stamp. And just place them. You have a little time to wiggle them around too. They're not going to dry immediately because this is just standard white glue, like school glue. And yeah, so you'll have a little bit of time to move them around. But the ideal thing is that we want this to dry pretty quick. So when you are putting the glue, that's why we don't use a lot of glue. A little bit will go a long way in this project. And I know in this little cup, I have way too much glue. I could put it back in the bottle, but I'm not going to worry about it. And I'm just going to continue to place my pieces on here. And you're only putting that glue on one side. You're going to try not to put the glue. These pieces were actually for learning math. I bought them at a place called Resource Depot, which is here in town. Here in West Palm Beach is where we are. And they have a lot of upcycled items that people donate. So you might have one of those types of places in the in your neck of the woods that you can go and get some items for upcycling. And so basically these foam pieces were donated there and I bought a pack of them. And I have used these pieces, that pack of pieces, to teach about 10 different classes. So, not necessarily just doing printmaking. So, to clean off the glue from your fingers, you have a paper towel. Just go ahead and wipe it off on the paper towel. Flip that paper towel over so we won't get that on our roller in just a few minutes. So, if you want to cut, I did these very basic just for the sake of time. But if you wanted to cut a special design in the actual foam, the scissors will cut this foam very easily. And these are kid scissors, so um, just to give you an idea. But the easiest way to actually use them and cut, and while this is drying, I'm going to show you a little cutting demonstration, is if you you're going to turn the foam piece in this hand and just close the scissors as you go. So let's just say we want it to be rounded, and you're going to close them and turn it as you go. So let's say we're going to round off this side, and we're going to do the same thing and turn with the scissors closing at the same time. So then you can get these really cool rounded pieces like that. And it's the same way with cutting the cardboard. Let's say I'm just going to cut a piece of cardboard here. Even kids' scissors will cut through cardboard. If you're using regular scissors, that's good too. Um, this has extra tape on it. I'm just going to take that off. Well, I can cut it. You can cut the cardboard the same way as you cut foam. Let's say we want it to be round. You're going to cut your foam the same way. Turn it as you close the scissors, just like that. And then you can take these cardboard pieces, just like the foam, and glue them on as well. So if you don't have the foam, you can actually just use cardboard the same way. And you just want to make sure that they're all one level and one height. Now you can go another step further. We're done putting any kind of cardboard or foam on there. And we're going to go another step. Now, last week I taught a sculpture class and we learned about texturing and giving texture to clay. And in this case, we're kind of going to do that to the foam. So I'm going to take a pencil, and it doesn't have to be a sharp pencil. It can just be a dull pencil. You can also take, if you have like a ballpoint pen or something with kind of a point, you can make designs in the foam, hold the foam in place. You could do this before. And you're going to give it a nice push into the foam, and that's going to put an indentation in the foam, and you will see that that part right there, when we roll the paint or ink over that right here, that should stay white or whatever color paper it is that you're using. So I'm just going to go in and do some polka dots, some little dots on some pieces, and do another squiggly line this way, pushing down into the foam to make sure there's a little indentation in it. And then maybe we're going to make some lines in this one. And if your pencil point breaks, that's fine. This is only to be done for the sake of making the indentations in there or textures. So I'm just going to place some things just randomly, and you guys are going to see how that turns out here in just a moment. Okay, so these are drying pretty quick. You know if they're on there is when you touch them like this. If you give them a little wiggle, they're really not moving anymore. Okay, so that's a good sign that they're pretty dry. It's dry enough that we can start getting ready for the paint. Now, you're not going to need your scissors anymore. We're going to put those to the side. You're not going to need your pencil or anything anymore. What you will need at this point is you're going to need your paper towels. I am right-handed, so I keep those paper towels to the right-handed side of me. I place a piece of paper. Maybe you have a spare piece of cardboard. Yeah, I didn't even bring any spare pieces of cardboard over here. They're on the other side. But you could use a piece of cardboard for this process as well. This is what you're going to put your paint or ink on. Okay. So this is our template or our pressing plate right here. And I pulled out a few colors. This is tempera paint. So, and it only takes a little bit of paint, you guys. You don't have to put a ton of paint out. So I'm going to leave them open in case I need more. But, yeah, so these are I buy bigger bottles of tempera paint and I put them in these smaller bottles. Fun fact and trick is if the paint's not coming out, but you know this in there and you need it to go down, just give it a little tap. Um, and then it helps the paint get to the bottom. So that's pretty much all the paint you really need. Now we're not going to make a ton of these, and you can use this template or your printing press over and over and over. Okay, so as you can see, this is actually a little card stock here, and if I were to be opening it this way, this would be my front. So I'm going to leave that front side up for now because that's what I'm going to print on, and I'm going to print it like this. Okay. So, and I do it, my preference is to put the paper on the top of your plate. Just like in the printing presses, they put the paper, went over the top, that pressed, and then it rolled off, right? So that's the same process as we're doing here. Now, if you wanted to create this and make it like a stamp, you could put your ink or your paint on it and stamp it like that. I just find that actually touching it and pushing it on here will give me more control of the paint going on. Let me see if I can adjust the phone view here. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and sticking with me on this project. So I do have my brayer here. You can do this with a regular paintbrush. And grab one, and I'll show you. I don't have really big ones over here, but we'll grab one of these. Ooh, that's back there. So you could do it with a paintbrush, but a brayer really evens out the paint, and they're pretty inexpensive at your craft store. Now, the good test is to roll it in and out of the paint. You'll take and dip it in, pull the paint down, and roll it back and forth like this to make sure that your paint gets all the way across. Now, let's say we want some of these one color and some another color. We may need to realign things. Now, you can realign things by putting kind of like a registration mark down. And I should have done this earlier. This will just help you line up stuff. Um, if you place your template, let's say you are placing it here. I'm just going to put an extra piece of foam right here. It's probably going to move on me because I should have done that before. But that's my little dot telling me that if I'm going to press it again, I need to put the dot down first and then lay it on. So you can do it a couple different ways. You can also use the edge as a lineup as well. So I'm going to leave it like that. And let's just go ahead and start getting ready to press this. I'm going to stick my brayer into this purple paint. I'm going to pull it down and then roll it a couple times and then roll it forward and back. And what happens is that you will see it's kind of shiny. You will see that there's paint all the way around on the brayer. Now, when you roll on to your actual pieces, you want to roll them lightly, not too hard, because if you did make the pencil marks in there to give your template texture, you might want to make sure you can clean those out, and that's where having the pencil is a good idea because you can go in and pull that paint out of those little lines like that. And we're going to just go ahead and I'm going to print the whole one side in purple. I'm just going to go over it. You kind of have to do this pretty quick so the paint doesn't dry too quickly. To clean your brayer, that paper towel, If you take your brayer and you run it across the paper towel back and forth, it will take the paint off. It will be only on the paper towel, and when it rolls and no more paint, you know it's clean. So I'm just going to grab some more paint here. And you can do this with acrylic paint. You can do this with ink as well. And I'm going to roll this on the middle. Just going to roll the color in to make sure the whole piece is covered. I think I'm going to roll it in this triangle up here as well. And then I'm going to use my third color on the other side. Once again, roll the paint off, and you can take your paper towel, flip it over, and use the paper towel all the way. So, and then we're going to take the blue and dip it in the paint and roll it back and forth. Make sure the roller has paint all the way around it. And just going to roll the paint on these pieces. And then don't forget to clean your brayer in between. I'm going to take a little bit of paint on my registration mark here and put that on there. I'm going to wipe that off. I don't have a little cup of water. Here's my little card. You're going to lay your card down, straight down on here, and try not to move it left, right, touching my registration mark here. And let's just say you'll be able to feel all the pieces that are under there. Just give them a good press. And then you're going to roll your paper off and you'll get your design just like that. And as you can see, the places where we put the marks on, I'll show it to each camera. If I can do it this way. They turned white. So there's a void in color there. Now some of them are a little off and so forth. So now there's a couple things you can do. You can build on top of this, or you can add to it. So let's say we want to take this here. We're going to add another piece on. Let's cut it. Or do I might have a piece here that I've got cut. No, I don't. I'm really trying to keep this in triangles and squares. So I cut a little piece. I'm going to once again glue this on. Just a little bit of glue so it dries fast. And I'm going to add this to the middle of a piece. I'm going to add a couple of these on so we can get a second press on the same design. Just a tiny bit of glue. And what's going to happen is going to give us another layer, and just going to give us a little bit more dimension into the piece. So I'm just barely touching it with glue so it will stay on. I'm going to place those there. Now we do have that registration mark, which gave us a little dot right here. So you all can see that there and here. When we go to ink these 3 pieces that we put on, we're only going to ink those or put paint on those only. Sorry, I've got glue on my hands. I'm going to take that one paper towel and toss that one in the trash. So these, technically we should wait a little bit, but we're going to try it anyway. Brayer's already been cleaned. So I'm gonna do this one here. Just gonna lightly go over it, even though it's not dry, the glue, but for the sake of time, we're gonna do that. Clean the brayer, grab some orange. We're gonna put some orange on this one. Now you can play around with your colors and put them on complementary colors. So I'm doing orange on purple for that one. Then I'm going to do the blue on the orange. And I did the purple on the blue for the other one. So I'm just going to add those in. Roll my brayer off. Going to take it the same way, but find my registration mark here. And when I flip this over, I'm going to place the registration mark first. I don't need to repaint that. And then it should line up the same, hopefully, and give it a press. And you'll feel that those three pieces are higher than the rest. I'm going to press it on there and then pull it off. The pieces are not all the way glued, but you kind of get the idea. Sorry. I should have let them dry. But then you have these next layers on top. So from here, here, and here. And for you guys on this camera, here, here, and here. So you can keep doing that over and over. You can also keep building around this piece, but it's an easy way to make a little greeting card. You can make your design any way you want. As far as putting your pieces on your cardboard, this will dry pretty quick, so you don't have to worry about that. But it's just a fun way of making a card or making very unique pieces of artwork. Um, so it's just fun. And the kids really had a great time this week doing this project, and some of the adults as well. Um, so this is the template that we made tonight. I am going to print one of my special hidden Mickey here. And I'm going to do that. We're just going to do it in purple. You can do monochromatic and just do it just like an old-fashioned newspaper where they only use black ink. And we're just going to roll this again. I'm going to show you one more time. I'm going to roll it into the paint. It's just like painting walls with a paint roller. And we're going to roll it, make sure it's all the way around. And then we're going to take this and go over all the pieces and roll over them. And you want to make sure to get a nice clean press of your design. This is another tip that you want to make sure you have ample amount of paint all the way to all the edges and in between. Not in between the pieces, that is. But you can put it on there and make sure all of it's covered. And you have enough paint or ink on each piece. And one more time over them. And you can move your brayer or your brush around just to make sure that you get the paint on there completely. All right, just going to roll that over here so it doesn't dry on my brayer. Not that it's really going to make a big difference because these brayers are really easy to clean. I'm going to do it. I'm actually going to go ahead and do it on another piece of white cardstock. So this is another card. It's just regular cardstock, 8.5 by 11, cut in half, and then folded in half. Give a little crease with your nail across the back. Decide which side is the front of your card, whether you're opening your card from the top as a fold or from the side as a fold. You have to figure out which side is the front. So the side for me is the front of the card. I'm going to take and lay it straight down on here and give it a press. Now, sometimes you can take the brayer, and if it's nice and clean, or if you have a second one, you can run a brayer across here as well and do it that way. So I'm just going to give it a rub all over that. And then when you pull it off, you have this really cool design. So for you guys here on the phone, or you guys here on the computer, and that's how you can do your own printing press right at home. It's so much fun. You can have a lot of fun with kiddos with this. You can do this as an adult, a teen, a senior. It doesn't matter what age. It's just a lot of fun to make your own designs, and you can get them all done with just upcycling some projects. Maybe you buy some paint. You can buy this paint if you're here in the US. This is tempera paint from the Dollar Tree. Um, the cardboard is from packaging because I might have a shopping problem. No, I'm not kidding. No, yeah, I'm kidding. Um, no, they're actually from boxes and orders of supplies and whatever. So I get a lot of boxes and deliveries here. So, well, I did. Right now, I don't have to order anything for a while because I have enough stuff. But yeah, cardstock or paper laying around. You can print on anything. You can print it. Maybe you want to make like these are post-it notes. Maybe you want to make your own custom like post-it notes. That would actually be kind of fun. Let's do one. Um, you can customize your scrapbooks like this. I'm just going to do the Mickey head in the middle and put it on a post-it note. Maybe you want to make this as your list for Disney. If you're going to Disney, take your post-it note pack and lay it straight down and push it on there. And the cool thing is that you should be able to see, oh, I have the other stuff on there too. You can see the stripes through there. So when this dries, you can actually just write over it and make a little note. So some people like to do it on maps. Like if you have old maps, I know that maps are not a thing really anymore, but if you happen to have a map, you could do that, or maybe a theme park map from an actual theme park, and you can press and make a little stamp right on there and make it for your memory book or something. So I said this is actually already completely dry. Dries fast. It's a lot of fun. It's super easy, and very little supplies are required, and it's very budget friendly. So I'm going to take the magic fingers here and switch my cameras around, or at least on the computer. That works. Ta-da! There we are. And then for you guys, whee! Oh wait, where did you go? Where did you go? Did I accidentally turn it off? Oh no. I hope I just didn't turn it off. If I did, sorry. I don't know if I just turned the other one off, but maybe I did. I don't know. I don't know where it went. Let me see if it's still up here on the computer. Oh my, my, my. Of course. I did something crazy and I don't know where it went. Resume. Okay. Oh my goodness, you're back. Okay. Hopefully I didn't freak any of you out too bad with that. That was crazy. Sorry. Let me adjust that there. Okay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this live tutorial. There was a little bit of chatting in the beginning, and maybe I can do some timestamps. I've actually never done the timestamps on here before, but I'll see if I can make it happen. But we were chit-chatting before we actually got into the tutorial, but you should be able to see the list of supplies and information in the description of this video. I actually did that ahead of time this time. And yeah, crazy stuff always happens on the video. So sorry. But sometimes that happens. And I hope you guys had fun with it. It's a really fun project to do. So here's this one. And this is the one we made live on the screen today. Let me grab it. So here's the one here. And it's just fun to make. You can do anything with them. Um, if you do happen to do these and want to share them with me, send me a message on Instagram or I don't think we can do that on YouTube, but if you can find me on Instagram, it's Create with Nikki on Instagram. And hopefully I'll put this video up on Instagram or part of it or something. I don't know. So I guess that's it for the night. Um, anyway, I really appreciate you all being here tonight and having a little artsy fun with me. Hello, everyone that just tuned in. And I'm going to call it done tonight. So, with that being said, I guess that's it. I guess that's it for today. And the good thing is I'm kind of on vacation as far as I just don't have any jobs lined up until like August 1st. Now, how far away is that? I have a vacation. It's kind of like, I don't know, like a week and a half before I have my next job. So, I will be live with you guys every day. Maybe I'll show you guys some of the renovations going on in the house and how we're being creative in our house. So, with that being said, we hope that you have enjoyed this video tonight and, um, yeah, make some art, guys. It makes you happy. Talk to you guys later, and that's tomorrow. So, consider subscribing. We talk about all kinds of stuff here, and we make art too. So we'll see you next time, guys. Have a good night, a good morning, a good afternoon, or a good evening, whatever time you're watching this. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like this video and share and subscribe and ring the bell for notifications.